Welcome, everybody. This is the Hardcore Truth with Johnnie O. Jackson, and I am Johnnie O. Jackson. This is my very first episode of the Hardcore Truth. And this week, I'm going to talk about weightlifting. What's too young? What's too old? This is one of the big myths as I was growing up that a young kid shouldn't work out, that it would stunt growth. But I think of the opposite. Growing up, I actually started training when I was around 8 years old. And I know that's very young, but that's around the time I start playing Pee-wee football. My whole ideal of getting better, getting stronger, getting faster is getting in the gym and working out in the gym and trying to enhance my body to meet these standards that I had for myself at a young age. I look like this pretty much my whole life. Of course, I'm a little bit bigger now, but I was always muscular and stout because I started training, like I said, around 8 years old. Around that time, trying to get stronger, trying to get a little bit bigger for football. And then doing that, I had no idea I was creating what I created in the career that I created for myself. I had no idea, of course, but I totally enjoyed, working out. I caught on to it. I started getting so much more confident in myself for all the accomplishments I was making in the gym, all the leaps and bounds in the gym of the weights that I was lifting, or figuring out, different exercises that was difficult to do. But, I seemed to get it right away. It just agreed with me. So I enjoyed it, and thank God I did, because I discovered a lot of things about myself through training. And then saying that, I think that's why people shouldn't hold back their child from training. Now, I wouldn't say, 5, 6 years old, even 8 years old. It's going a little bit far, but I think 10 years old, I think it shouldn't be any problem to put your kid under a regimented workout. Push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, some dumbbell curls, different things like this that you can watch them and, manage them in doing it. And also in doing that, I think it'll create not just a better physical body, but a healthier body as well. As we get older, doctors seem to tell us, we need to get in the gym. We need to start a workout regimen. There's a lot of my older clients that I have, say they didn't discover it working out till they went to the doctor, and the doctor told them, they need to start, doing a little bit for themselves to help themselves to stay functional. And so that's why they sought out the gym and sought out a personal trainer to figure things out and to do it the right way. So the right way is the key word. You got a really good opportunity to teach your kid how to train properly. I know in high school, coaches, they have, of course, the right intentions for the kids, but they can't, stop and give one-on-one to each and every student, so they end up getting groups of students and end up teaching everyone, one thing, and not everybody is the same. We all know everybody's just a little bit different. So the exercise this guy's doing in a way I taught this guy may not work for this other guy, might put strains up on somewhere else, or, may cause an injury somewhere else just because, he's a little bit different, made up a little bit different. I need to do it in a little different way. So like I said, you have a great opportunity to teach your child, or hire someone to teach your child how to properly lift things. Just think over a period of life, things that you have to lift, whether it's a grocery store, whether it's your dad telling you to pick something up, your mom telling to grab something for a friend, or playing around on the playground, picking your friends up, or whatever the fact may be. But just think about, if you knew how to do it properly at a young age, that would stop a lot of injuries we have as we get older, because we don't look at these things while we're young. We just motor through and just pick things up or do whatever we have to do to get by, and not thinking about doing it the proper way and how it's going to affect us in the long run. So in saying that, we come to, how do you know what way to train, or what's the proper way for yourself? Or like I said, everybody's made a little bit different. How do you figure out, what proper way you should do, each and every exercise, and how is this going to benefit you? How is this going to get you to whatever goal you set for yourself, whether it's a strength goal or it's a body shaping goal. I'll tell you, one of the ways is, I was definitely blessed and lucky in life that I had an older brother who trained, and that's who I followed and was brought up by and learned the way, in the techniques that I know. Everybody know me and my workout partner, Branch Warren, and our hardcore working out. And that drive from an early age. But like I said, I look like this my whole life. I'm just a little bit bigger now. I train like I trained my whole life. I just train a little bit heavier now than I did before. That's the only difference. But the style that I have is what I've always done. Then again, you had an opportunity to teach your child, and for you and your child, or for your child to figure out themselves and what worked for them. I talk to my older clients quite a bit, especially the ones who started out lifting later in their life. And, they're saying how much better they feel. They're in the best shape they ever been in their life, even though, they're 40 or 50 years old. They're pretty amazed. They shouldn't be, because what you put into something is what you get out of it, And I have to say, training, working out, you're doing something for yourself, not for someone else, but someone else. So you kind of get into that groove, unless you're super lazy and don't care about your health. You get into a pretty good groove of training and figuring out what works for you, experimenting on different workouts, doing your research on the internet. I would say magazines, but that was when I was growing up. There's hardly any magazines now, but you can Google many workouts. You can Google myself, Johnnie O Jackson, my training partner, Branch Warren, Jay Cutler, Kai Green, Sean Clarita. There's, many guys that, I've followed their training or watched their training because their training is intense, and that's what works. And that's another thing, is effort, is, like I said earlier, what you put into something is what you get out of. And if you get to the gym and if you put 110% out, everybody's like, how do you stay motivated? How do you get the results? You stay motivated by getting results. You get the results by putting 110% all your effort into what you're doing. It's as simple as that. If you go in and you train, you sweat, you don't have to bleed, sort of say, but you can't help but to get the results out of it. Like I said, is what you put it into it is what you get out of. You have to also decide for yourself what avenue you're going to take, whether you want to be a bodybuilder, whether you want to be a powerlifter, whether you want to be a yoga instructor. All depends on, what you want to do with your body. What do you want to look like? What inspires you, to get up and put on your gym clothes and get into the gym. I always say, hardest thing about the gym is the first day or walking through the door. That's the very hardest thing, because once you do, every day after that, it's a blessing. You realize that right away. What do you want to construct? What do you want to achieve? What is your goal? That's the first thing you sit down and jot down, is your goal. And looking at your goal can predict, what workout is the best for yourself. Then you experiment from there and you do your research from there. After that, the next thing I would think would be nutrition. One of the biggest things of getting older is learning how to eat. It's really amazing. Talking to people, walking around these days, even doctors, you talk to them and you realize, they really don't know a whole lot about nutrition. They really don't know how to eat. That's one of the biggest things I have to say also is I always tell, guys and gals who's just starting out in the game or trying to decide whether it's for them or not is one of the biggest things is nutrition, because what you eat is going to predict how lean you are, how fat you are, how skinny you are, how in shape you are. So you need to do your research and find out not only about the different food and food types, but what it actually does after entering your body. If you don't realize this, but food makeup is one thing on the outside, it turns into something else once it's broken down into your system, into the body, so you need to know exactly what you're doing to create what you're trying to create. You'll learn so much about nutrition, learn about how to eat. It'll counteract all the sluggishness. Some of the not being motivated is you're tired and worn out because you haven't eaten enough or you haven't eaten properly to sustain yourself through the workday, let alone or school day, let alone going to the gym and working out and sustaining a great hardcore workout. So important that you do, So now we go down the competing road. You wonder whether or not someone who starts to work out, normally, it's from watching, bodybuilding show or powerlifting meet, or sometimes you can watch other different athletic events and, see someone that's built really good or, really muscular, really lean, to like, I want to look like that and start working out that way. But more than likely is seeing a bodybuilder or seeing a weightlifter and it strikes you like, I can do that. And yes, you can. You just have to get it right and get it organized. Mind you, bodybuilding, we have teenage divisions. So there you go. Like I said, 10, 11, 12, give you that a few years, because I think around 15, 16 years old would be probably a good age to get someone out on the stage. And so you start about 10 years old, you have, 4 or 5 years of training underneath your belt and development, to get out in the teenage division and do some damage, and then build up from there. Training at a young age also gives you or helps you to realize patience is very important when it comes to weight training. There's no fast changing. There's no overnight, you look like, Mr. Olympia. You have to work at it. It takes some time. So starting at a young age is the same thing as growing up, your body developing as it grows up, and that gives you a sense of the levels and the timing that it takes to actually build, where a lot of guys start at an older age and they want to look like Mr. Olympia tomorrow. And so then they turn to the different supplementations and stuff like this that they shouldn't turn to, just to try to create that body, right now. Everybody want to look like that right now. Everybody want to be rich right now. I do right now. So like I said, starting to work out at a young age, develops that patience within you without even knowing of accomplishing small accomplishments, small developments, and, turn into a bigger, better you in the long run, and a healthier you as well, and a sustainable look. You just got to think about all the supplementation and, this, that, and the other. And, you're using that to build your body instead of training to build your body. So it's fast loss. As soon as you get off of whatever you're taking, whereas creatine or whatever it is, you deflate. All of it make you hold water and swell up. And then once you're not taking it, you don't hold as much water in the muscle cell, because you don't have that supplementation inside that muscle, creating that. So then you deflate and you're like, oh no, I'm getting small. I have to go out and buy some more. And that's a key word, going out, buying some more, because that's what corporate America does. It sets you up to make you think that this is the best thing for you, or it works for sure, and get you to, it works for short term, and it makes you come back over and over and over and over again. And that's how they keep getting rich, and you keep getting frustrated and wonder, why am I not getting the results that I'm supposed to be getting, that they said I would be getting by taking this, product. Well, mind you, if you would start a little bit earlier, regimented yourself a little bit earlier, organize yourself a little bit earlier, then, you know what I mean? You understand the levels to things, you understand how things work, and you would use patience and your knowledge and know-how, and, get in the gym and grind it out, and get good results that will last a lifetime. That's what's important. A lifetime. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm Johnny O. Jackson. This is the Hardcore Truth with Johnny O. Jackson. This is my very first episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, watching, and or listening to me. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, rate me, all that good stuff. I'm looking forward to it. You guys go to GenerationIron.com. Let them guys know what topics you want me to talk about. You know, this was an easy one, a little bit comfortable for me, easing myself in. So bear with me. This is my very first time doing this. I'm so excited to be here with you guys. I want to be here for a while. I want to bring you guys, you know, some knowledge, some information, some education that only Johnny can bring. Thank you guys again. Hope you enjoy. See you at the gym.